My beautiful face yogis, how are we today? What is going on? I wanted to bring you some commentary on the Gua Sha tool and whether or not I use it. It seems to be quite kind of trendy at the minute. I personally do think that the Gua Sha tool is a good one. I'm not against using Gua Sha, but I don't use it that much, to be honest. So this is the Gua Sha tool that I have. I've tried many different techniques with it. I have a few moves that I do like with it, but in general, I really prefer massaging with my knuckles, with my hands. And sometimes I like to use a face roller. That's kind of where I'm at with the whole Gua Sha tool thing. I'm learning more and more about it and the history of it and its origins. You know, from what I know, it's coming from a long tradition within China, originally not necessarily used for the face. Would love to learn more about it. If you guys have more you want to share about it, please let me know in the comments below. I've seen a lot of people have had a lot of success with it, and I'm not denying that that's the case. Personally, I just don't really find the benefit for myself. Now, for other people, there's a few things. Some people just can't use their hands. Either they don't know how to use their hands for massage for themselves, or they have some sort of disability or some sort of difficulty in the way of using their hands. I think the tools are really, really good for those moments. The Gua Sha tool is good for people who might just not really want to use their hands. Some people are not really comfortable using their hands on their face, and that's fine. So I think the Gua Sha tool is a great substitute for the hands. The benefit of using your own hands is that you are feeling yourself like with your hands, so you can feel the skin, you can feel the tissue, the muscle, everything, like on both sides. So you can feel it here, and then you can feel it with your hand. Whereas when you use a tool, you can't feel it with the tool. I think self-touch has a lot of other hormonal and neurochemical benefits too. I also think that it's good for tracking your progress and how things are going. So like, let's say you're working on a knot for a few minutes one day, and then the next day and the next and the next. And then 2 weeks later or whatever, you work on it and you're like, whoa, my gosh, it definitely feels different. Whereas with a tool, you might not be able to really track the change as easily. That's one downfall of using a tool. Another thing is I think we can get a little bit robotic with a tool and just kind of use it and not really like tune in to what's going on. That's a downfall. I think tools sometimes they get in the way, like maybe you'll lose it, or maybe you have to wash it, or maybe you forgot it. Our hands, for most people, we've got our hands, we're able to use them, we can wash them. So it's just a lot more convenient. So that's what I think about Gua Sha tool. I have seen a lot of people have gotten incredible results using it. And I think for many people, it is a fantastic technique and tool to use. I'll just show you a couple of moves that I do like to use with the Gua Sha tool. I've been inspired a little bit by other people, but some of them I've just sort of come up with them on my own. One thing that I like to do is I like to use one of the edges, just put some pressure, almost like acupressure, like you would with a knuckle or a finger, and just put it against the eye socket. Just applying a little bit of pressure. Just trying to release the tension around the eye socket. From looking at screens, from squinting, from being on the phones and all of that. It's a really nice way to release that. And the Gua Sha kind of has this sharpness to it on the edge, the scraping aspect, that makes it easier to kind of get into those little nooks. So yeah, so periodically I'll use it there. And that's nice. And another thing that I've more recently discovered that I like to use the Gua Sha tool for is scalp massage. So I'll show you what I mean. The temporal muscle is here, and it can be kind of a hard place to release. You can use your knuckles and just put some pressure and a little bit of circles, or kind of gently going down the skin here. But the problem is most people at least have hair. What I like with the Gua Sha tool is you can take the tool and just run it along very gently with a little bit of pressure. And even just holding it there against the temple just adds another surface. You don't have to like use your hand to do it. You can just use the tool. You can even just like kind of shake it slightly from side to side, do little circles, even just run it down. Being careful, of course, not to damage the hair. It's also nice on the neck. It can be kind of hard to massage the neck. But the problem is that I think self-massage on the neck with the gua sha is not the easiest thing. So I'm still not the biggest fan. But one thing that you can do is taking the flat part again and just separating out some of the tension from the nape of the neck. Kind of behind the ear at the nape of the neck. And of course moving it down. And another thing about Gua Sha tool that I personally am not the greatest fan of, I find that the way to do lymphatic drainage to be a little bit more difficult with the Gua Sha tool, whereas with a roller, lymph drainage is a lot more straightforward and easier. But hey, if it works for you, do what works for you. We all have our own faces, our own systems, our own anatomy. I really just want to promote people finding their way that works for them, that they kind of consent to. You know, people, I think, need to know what the options are. I think Gua Sha tool can be a fantastic option for a lot of people. I continue to recommend it to people who might benefit from it. So yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys used Gua Sha tool before? Would you use it? Are you curious to try it? Yeah, let me know. Have you had any results with it? If you want me to talk about more things relating to the Gua Sha tool, let me know. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, you guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of this community. Bye, beautiful.